Okay, what we're going to be doing in this first example is we're going to complete 2 iterations of the Newton's method. They do give me my initial guess. My initial guess, they tell me, is x of 1 will be 1. Normally we'll have to find our initial guess through a graph, but anytime they give me my initial guess, I will be using that. So we're going to always just complete these charts, and you'll always be given the chart. So all you've got to do is fill it in. This says find x sub n, which would be x of 1. Well, we know that's to be 1. Then it says to find f of x sub n, which would be f of x sub 1. That means I'm going to plug 1 in for the function right here. So I would end up getting 1 squared, which is 1, times 2 of 2. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Now it says find f prime. Well, I first need my derivative, so that's 4x. Find f prime of x sub 1, so that means I'm going to plug 1 in for my derivative, which gives me 4. Now it says divide those two values, so I get a negative 1/4. And the last thing it tells me to do is to take my x sub n minus this, so take this and subtract the two values. So I end up getting 1 minus negative 1/4, which would be 5/4 or 1.25. This becomes my new x value, and I carry it down below. Let's refer back to the example that I gave you, or the explanation of Newton's method. When I first started out, I gave an initial guess of 1, and then I would draw a tangent line to the curve using the equation of a line. I would then be able to figure out what this x value is, and I called it x sub 2. The x value that you get for x sub 2 is found by doing x sub 1 minus the function value divided by the derivative. Notice that's what the last part is. So x sub 2 is found by taking that x sub 1 minus the function value divided by the derivative. So hopefully this chart makes more sense because of the explanation I gave you through that picture. So let's go ahead and finish our second iteration. This value, what it means is it's closer to that x-intercept, and by doing and finishing this one, we will be even closer to that x-intercept. So we're going to take 1.25 now and plug it in for our f of x, because we're supposed to figure out what f of x sub 2 is now. So I'll take my function value 2 times 1.25, and I will square it. So let's try that again. 2 times 1.25 squared, and then I subtract 3. This gives me the answer of 0.125, and I will put that on my chart now. 0.125. F prime of x sub 2, you're going to plug 1.25 in for your x. So we'll go over here and write 4 times 1.25, and that gives me the answer of 5. So I'll write 5 here. Now I'm going to divide those two values. So I'll come back here, 0.125, 0.125 divided by 5 gives me the answer of 0.025. So I'll write 0.025 here. And the last thing I do is I subtract 1, my initial value over here, minus 0.025. So 1.25 minus 0.025